She is an exceptionally rare talent in cultivation. But to avoid marrying the son of the Prime Minister, she unexpectedly summoned a powerful being from another dimension. This powerful being, without fully understanding the situation, hastily married the queen. During a council meeting several days later, the courtiers began to discuss him extensively. The courtiers heard that the queen had been trapped in a formation in the Northern Territory. But she achieved a breakthrough in her cultivation while in dire straits. The courtiers congratulated the queen for reaching the 9th rank. The queen truly lived up to her reputation as the rarest talent in the Great Yan dynasty for a millennium. However, during today's meeting, the courtiers were more focused on the prince. Rumors had it that the prince was only interested in indulgence and had no cultivation, making him a wastrel. The courtiers unanimously believed that it was because of the prince's exceptional appearance that had beguiled Her Majesty into marriage. Prior to this, the Prime Minister had always intended for Her Majesty to marry his son. Now, this plan had been suddenly disrupted by the prince. And the Prime Minister would undoubtedly not let this pass today. The Prime Minister, upon entering and hearing these sarcastic remarks, felt infuriated. Furthermore, another seat had appeared next to the dragon throne in the hall today. The Prime Minister's son, Liu Shimei, glanced at that seat, seething with anger. He believed that this seat originally belonged to him but had suddenly been snatched away by a worthless individual. Shortly after, the Queen and Xiaoshan entered together. The Queen directly took her seat on the dragon throne. However, Xiaoshan hesitated as he looked at the chair beside the dragon throne. The patterns on the other chair depicted phoenixes, which traditionally symbolized women. Xiaoshan, as a man, didn't want to sit in that chair. The Queen noticed Xiaoshan's dilemma and asked him what was wrong. Xiaoshan hesitated, looking at the chair but not saying anything. However, the Queen had already sensed Xiaoshan's concerns. She ordered 2 attendants to replace the chair with a regular one. After doing all this, the Queen gave Xiaoshan a reassuring look, urging him to sit down quickly. It was then that Xiaoshan realized this was all a scripted performance directed by the Queen herself. Her purpose was to show the courtiers how much she valued him. Xiaoshan sighed at the Queen's intricate scheme, and he quickly cooperated with the Queen to continue the act. So, Xiaoshan reclined in the chair, even propping up his legs. Xiaoshan put on a performance of his own self-assuredness. Xiaoshan's performance successfully brought a smile to the face of the courtier named Zhang Lishuang, who was watching from below. Before long, the Queen's attendants invited the courtiers to speak about important matters one by one. The Prime Minister was the first to step forward, stating that he had an important matter to discuss with the Queen in person. The Queen knew that the Prime Minister was definitely planning something today. Subsequently, the Prime Minister began his report on the state affairs. Xiaoshan, listening to the Prime Minister's report, couldn't help but marvel at the Prime Minister's abilities. The Prime Minister was articulate and thorough in his speech, even drawing insights from the southern frontier's affairs. It appeared that the rapid development of the Great Yan dynasty was closely related to this Prime Minister. However, precisely because of the Prime Minister's formidable abilities, when he became ambitious, it would be difficult for the Queen to reclaim the royal authority from his hands. As expected, after reporting on the work, the Prime Minister began to trouble Xiaoshan. He claimed that Xiaoshan's abilities were insufficient to be the prince. The Prime Minister requested that the Queen strip Xiaoshan of his title as prince and even proposed that the Queen execute Xiaoshan. With these words, the courtiers naturally divided into 2 factions, one supporting the Queen and the other supporting the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, Xiaoshan remained calmly seated, observing everything as if this matter had nothing to do with him.